Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be about my experiences with shadow people. So I have a very big fascination with shadow people. I've had one since I was a child. As a child, I was always told that if you saw a shadow person that you were going to go to hell, that you were going to die. I had a lot of older people scare me into thinking this. I would hear all these stories about how they would stand by your bed late at night and just stare at you with their red or their white eyes. And I was just terrified. And I would pray to God, God, please, never let me see these shadow people. I was literally terrified. So I would always pray that I wouldn't see them. I was scared. So back in 2012, my third eye was very, very opened, and I was seeing things all the time. I was living in a haunted house. I would see things every single day there. And one of the things that I was seeing were a shadow of people. So I was on the phone with my friend. This was and I remember it very, very clearly. It was in July, and it was actually July 7th. And I was sitting on the floor, and I was on the phone with her. And I was talking when all of a sudden I saw a shadow person. Now, I could clearly see the hallway, and the hallway was very, very narrow. On the right side was a wall leading to the bedroom, and on the left side was a linen closet. So as I was talking on the phone, I saw something walk from the linen closet through the wall. And as it was walking through or walking by, it looked like it was moving in slow motion. So it was kind of walking like this. It almost looked robotic. It looked to be a male. It was very, very dark. It was one solid figure, very, very dark. It had a hat on. When it turned its head to the side, I saw like a rim. Now, to me, my eyes picked it up as a baseball hat. I'm not 100% sure if that's right. After I saw that, my friends are talking to me. I dropped the phone. Me being very, very curious, I got up and I went to the linen closet, and I opened it up, and I'm looking in, and I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, that is so weird. What is that? So I went into the room, and I'm looking, and I didn't see anything. So I hear my friend, Debbie, and she's yelling. I was like, oh shit, I forgot all about my friend. So I went back over to the phone, and I told her what happened, and she couldn't believe it. I mean, she did, but she couldn't. So from that moment on, I became obsessed with shadow people. I wanted to know everything there was to know, and I just became literally fascinated. I was fascinated. So living in this haunted house, I would say there was about 3 shadow figures that I saw. And like I said, the one I saw in my hallway. Now, it's really weird when you see these shadow people. Sometimes they'll look like figures of people. Now, when I see them, they look like men. I don't know if some people see them as a female silhouette, but I see them as male. Sometimes it will look as though they're either male or they're a mass. So sometimes I see them as like a big black mass. It almost looks like a blob. It looks very, I would say, kind of cloud-like. It kind of floats. It's very, very, I would say, blobby, if that's making any kind of sense. These figures seem to creep. They creep out of corners. They seem to dart. They creep out of corners. They creep out of hallways, out of closets. They stand by your bed, which I have a story about, which I'll get to in just a minute. they sometimes seem to notice you, but sometimes they don't seem to. I kind of feel as though they sometimes will try to make contact with you, but then I kind of feel as though sometimes they don't see you and they're going about their business. So there's times when I feel like the veil kind of lifts up and they're in our dimension, they're in our realm, and they're going about their life. So I kind of feel like maybe the veil will lift and maybe their world and our world is kind of colliding. I don't know if that's making any sense, but that's how I see it. Now, like I said, I'm no expert. I'm just me, so I don't know. That's just how I see it. I have notes written down because I'm always taking down notes. I'm very into all this, so I always have a pen and paper, and I'm always jotting things down. Now their features, it's very, very weird. When I see their features, they don't have any features. It's almost like sometimes they have eyes. But when you look at their eyes, I've seen them with red eyes and white eyes. So that to me is utterly fascinating. Now, a lot of times when people see things with red eyes, they'll say that it's probably a demon. I don't see it as that. I don't know why they have red eyes. Maybe it's just the way we maybe it's the way our eyes see a color. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes they'll have no features at all. Sometimes there's no face. I see them with just no face, and they're just like a solid silhouette, or like I said, like a blob of energy that's just moving. It's very weird. Their intentions are pretty much unknown. I don't think they have any, so I can say that the way I feel is that they don't really have any intentions. They just seem to be, like I said, going about life, or what they perceive as life. I hope that makes sense. So they're primarily seen like late at night. Now, if you're sitting in a really dark room with all the lights off, you will still see them. They are darker than dark. They are darker than midnight. They're darker than anything. They will stand out. So even if you're sitting in a darkened room, you will still see them. You will still see them. You will still see them walk by. You will still see them creeping. You'll still see them walking all around. You'll see them. It's very, very obvious. They make their presence pretty much known. So I'm going to talk about a story that happened to me living in my haunted house. So when I was living there, like I said, there was 3 shadow people there. One night I woke up to one that was standing up by my bed. So I woke up, and at first I thought that I was just seeing things because I had just woke up. But I looked and I could clearly see a shadow figure, shadow man, shadow a person standing by my bed. Now he was watching me sleep. He was observing me sleep. It was very, very creepy. Now, as that was going on, I see this black mist. Now, this black mist looked as though it was engulfing my room. It looked as though it was going to engulf me. It was coming over me. So as it was coming over me, I felt sleep paralysis. Now, sleep paralysis is temporary. It's when you cannot speak or move. So I was laying in bed and I felt this mass come over me. I saw it, and the shadow figure was still standing up by my bed. And I started to get that sleep paralysis. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I was getting anxiety. I was, I'm not gonna lie, nothing really scares me. Spirits don't scare me. I've been put in a lot of different situations. But this honestly scared me very, very much. But it seemed as though, now with these type of entities, they seem as though they feed off of fear. So the more fearful you are, the more it seems that they grow. The more it seems that they get more power. So they pretty much feed off of your fear. Now this experience didn't last long, but it did make me very, very fearful. And I kind of felt as though that spirit liked that. I kind of felt like he liked my fear, and it was manifesting and growing off of my fears. So after that happened, I said to myself, look, I'm never going to show this entity any more fear. I had a feeling that I would be seeing it again, and I did. So a few weeks later, I was in bed again, and I look to the side and I see it standing next to me again. When it was looking at me, this time its eyes were white, and I looked at it and I just said, you need to go now. And I said it very, very sternly and very forcefully. I didn't show any fear. And my boyfriend heard me and looked at me and said, who are you talking to? I didn't want to get into the whole shadow figure thing because he doesn't believe, he kind of doesn't, I think he believes that there's something out there, but he doesn't believe in everything that I do. And I don't like to push things on people because I feel like pushing things on people is not the right thing to do. So I didn't want to push anything on him. So I didn't say anything. I just pretended like I didn't hear him. So after that happened, I kind of said, okay, well, maybe now, since he knows that I'm not scared of him, maybe I won't see him anymore. That didn't happen. So one night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I could not sleep. I couldn't sleep. I don't know what it was. Well, I think I know what it was. I was seeing spirits every night in this house. So I went outside to the living room, and I had my computer. And at the time, I wasn't on Facebook. I was on Google Plus. And I was on there, and I was kind of going through, posts. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and I see the same shadow person dart right by me. And he looks at me, and this time his eyes are red. And I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, I am not going to show this little blanker any fear, because if I do, he's going to think it's okay to take over my whole entire life. And that was not going to happen. And it's really weird. A lot of people claim that when they see shadow people, it's on their side of vision. Now, for me, when I saw them, it was always like a front. Like I could see them from my front side. So I don't know if like most people see them just on the side, and I was just lucky just to see them in front of me all the time. I don't know, but that's how I see shadow figures. I'm going through my notes here. So I have always tried to, I can't figure out if they're demons, if they're just some extra dimensional entities or what. But they are highly, highly fascinating. Now, like I said, they don't seem to have any purpose. Like, I don't know if they're from like some other plane, if they're a spirit or what, but they're just so fascinating. Now, in this house, I don't see that, but I would absolutely positively love to start seeing them because I'm so fascinated by them that I would love to see them again. It's just very, very hard. I don't know if they're, man, I just don't know. To me, they're just so fascinating and so creepy, and just, you know, with their red eyes and their white eyes, and, you know, sometimes just a blob of mass, and just walking through walls and just kind of creeping up on you. It's just fascinating. So, I'm just so fascinated by them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short video, and if you have ever experienced any shadow figures, please comment down below and like and subscribe. And thank you and have a good day. Bye.